Okay, welcome everybody to this amazing Zoom that Anthony is so generously gifting to us all today on the Elegance of Bodies. Thank you, Anthony, for joining us and everybody else who's on here. Anthony is going to be doing a 3-day body class and a Talk to the Entities class in Rome in March. The Talk to the Entities class, I think actually is the 27th of April.
Nope, February.
Sorry, February. Oh, yes, 1 month. That's it. Of February. And then the body class starts on the 1st of March.
Yes.
So you are all very welcome to come and join us. We would love to see you. And I know that Anthony is going to give us lots of yummy bits of information and some fun things to play with on this call and around bodies. So take it away, Anthony.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Laura. Well, I'm really excited to be here with all of you and to come to Europe to facilitate these classes, because I would like to invite all of you to the things that I've had the opportunity to experience in my journey with Access Consciousness. And the things that have become available to me along the way is truly beyond words. And if any of you know my story, I'm not going to get into it. You can always check out my story on my website, but I know some of you do. You know where I've been, and compared to where I was and where I am now, it's truly nothing short of miraculous. And that's what these tools in Access Consciousness actually provide, not just for me, not just for Dane, not just for Gary, but for every single one of you. Okay? And what's available for all of us, for our beings and our bodies, is something that you don't get in this reality, right? It is truly something that's beyond this reality and beyond words. So the name of this particular call and topic is the elegance and your body. I think that's what we called it, right? And I'm so glad, because I didn't know what I wanted to talk to you guys about. And I just got back from the Global Foundation, not the Global Foundation, the Global Bars thing, and then the Bars Facilitators training. I can't keep up with all the names. And I spent some time with some friends that, let's just say, know what elegance means and is. And many years ago, when I started off as a chiropractor, I wanted to be a healer, right? I wanted to create miracles in people's bodies. But somewhere along the lines, I took this vow of poverty. And because somewhere I bought that having money, having the finer things of life, all the way down to your socks and your underwear, that somehow would take away from my healing capacities. And that if you were a true healer, or if you were, like, let's say, a pastor or a preacher, if you were a true preacher or pastor, having wealth would not be of importance to you, right? So I aligned and agreed with that point of view, and it kept me poor for a really, really long time. And so I started Access Consciousness, and I'm tired of struggling with all the different things I was struggling with. And I started to look at, I'm like, yeah, I would like to have money, but I don't need to necessarily have to fly first class. What's the point of that? I could suck it up. I'm not a very large person. I could sit in the economy and save some money. But as I started to become aware of the magic, the power, or more like the potency that these tools create for me and my body, I started to ask, like, where else can I receive this magic from besides just being in an Access Consciousness class? And then so I went for a ride in a really, really nice car with a friend of mine. And the car, it was like the car, the molecular structure, the molecules of the car was actually speaking to me. It was like I was being facilitated by a car. And I'm not a car person. But when I went for a ride in this car, not only was it exhilarating, but it opened up my world in such a way that it was almost like receiving a body process, or it was almost like receiving an ESB session or an SOP session. And what I realized was that surrounding yourself with the finer things of life, it's not just there for you to have it, to say that you have it, or for your pride. But in the finer things in life, these things actually contribute to you and your body at a very, very deep molecular level. And as soon as I had that awareness, like, oh my God, if I was willing to receive nice clothes, nice underwear, even my toothbrush, okay? And if all those things made my body feel good, right? What that does and creates in my world is it creates this space of being nurtured. It creates this space of receiving. And when you are nurtured in those moments, in all the things that you do, not just at an access class, during a body process or during a bar session, but when you are nurtured because the way your shirt feels on your body, or when you get out of a shower and you dry yourself off with a really nice towel, that contributes to you energetically. And it contributes so much that when you are filled with that type of receiving, that creates the space for you to be a contribution in other people's lives. And so what I got was that as a facilitator that's trying to invite all of you to something greater for yourselves, for your body, and for your lives, I need to be fed too. I need to be nurtured as well, but not just in an access class, but in all the things that I choose, all the way from flying to Rome to the clothes that I wear. You know, sometimes I would say, oh, I'll buy nice clothes, but I won't spend much money on underwear because nobody sees my underwear. No, I'm at the point in my life where I want my underwear to caress my private parts in a way that's nurturing to my body, because I notice everything. And so I came up with this meme, which I thought was beautiful, and I got really excited about it. And it says, true wealth is not about having it, but the contribution of the elegance of how every molecule contributes to you and your body. And in receiving that, it creates the space to invite others to more. And that's what I got when I went for a ride in my friend's car. That was so beautiful, even down to the stitching of the car. It was like perfection, but not from the point of view of the insanity of perfectionism, right? We have a body process to fix those sorts of things. But it was like he designed it the way that worked for him. And I started to look at his life and I'm like, oh my God, he is walking, talking magic. He doesn't just save it for when he's over here or over there. It's in every aspect of his life, from his shoes to his socks, to his underwear, to the clothes that he wears, to the way that he facilitates, to the cars that he drives, to the airplanes, and where he decides to fly, even down to the foods that you eat. Not from a judgmental point of view, like, oh, I can't eat that food because it'll make me fat. But it's more like, okay, if I eat you food, will you contribute to my body in a nurturing way? And that may be a food item that some healthcare practitioners may say is unhealthy. But when you're in true communion with the molecules around you, your body may require foods that scientists in this reality would say are not necessarily healthy for you, right? So when I started to look at all the ways I wanted the molecules around me to contribute to me, I started to make a demand that I need to surround myself with everything that makes me feel like I'm in the class. Everything. Not to have it and to brag about having it, but because I now know what it actually contributes to my life and to my body. And then when I go to facilitate a class, it actually exponentializes the potency in which I facilitate the class. So if you're a parent, if you have children, if you have a significant other, or if you're married, it's like, what would receiving elegance from all things contribute to you and your body, for your family, for your lover, and actually for your health? Now, I know some of you are like, well, what if I don't have the money to buy all these fun? You know, you do what you can. You do what you can, right? And then you keep asking questions to create more. Because the universe, one thing I've learned since I've been in Access is that the universe does have your back, okay? But it's up to us to be in and stay as the question. Because when we do that, then we're constantly creating with the quantum entanglements of the universe. Okay, and then when doubt comes in, or distractor implants, you know, fear, anger, rage, fury, and hate, you know, you have the tools to pot and pop that stuff. Okay, because when those things start to creep in, you actually stop your creation, right? So it's like we have the tools to prevent us from stopping what the very thing that we're actually trying to create, which is really just basically a happier life. Right? We want to have a happier life. If your body hurts all the time, you're not going to be happy all the time. You know what I'm saying? So let me read to you. And this was really cool because I had no idea that this was even available. But this is actually from Gary Douglas himself. Okay? So let's talk about elegance, aesthetics, decadence, and hedonism. Okay? Elegance, aesthetics, decadence, and hedonism are the source of having a generative life and a phenomenal life. You have to be willing to have these four elements to have the life that you would like to have. To have a creative life, you have to destroy something in order to create it. Usually, the one thing you are willing to destroy is you. In order to have a generative life, you must use elegance, aesthetics, decadence, and hedonism. You have a choice of the creation of life, which is matter, energy, space, and time. Or you can generate your life, which is energy, space, and consciousness. So a lot of you may hear, like, you know, when you ask Gary and Dane like a question, you're like, how do I get this to show up in my life? And they'll always say, what energy, space, and consciousness can me and my body be to have more money than God with total ease, right? As an example, right? It's about being energy, space, and consciousness. And that's what all these tools and access are designed to do, to get you away from matter, the things, right? We get caught up in the how. How is this going to happen? I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't have all these things. Don't worry about the things. The only thing you need to be is energy, space, and consciousness. The universe will take care of the how and the when. Okay? So oneness in consciousness includes everything and it judges nothing. So it's not about the rightness of this reality. It's not about the rightness or the wrongness of anything here. It's about the awareness that when you're doing judgment of you, especially, you're doing limitation. Okay? And what do some of you know that judgment creates? It's actually an invitation to demons. Not a good idea. You want to be able to create, you want to be able to generate, you want to be able to do all of it. Okay, so we all need to be functioning from the space of generating, creating, and instituting, right? But some of us have all these roadblocks. Some of us have these things that we keep coming up against, okay? Don't try to figure it out. That's what these tools are designed to do. That's what the body process is designed to do, to help you to learn how to receive. Period. Period. Okay? And especially in Catholicism, right? You've heard it's better to give than it is to receive. Well, what if that was just an interesting point of view? All right, so let's talk about the elements of generation, okay? Again, elegance, aesthetics, decadence, and hedonism. Okay?
Anthony, can you just tell us what aesthetics is?
Yeah.
Just getting, maybe just give us a little definition of each one of those.
Yeah, I'm going to go into that now.
Cool.
So thanks, Jess. So aesthetics is the willingness to see the beauty of the moment and the change you can create or generate. Sometimes you can create a change. Sometimes you have to create the change. So sometimes you can and sometimes you can't. And that's when you ask a question like, what is this? What do I do with it? Can I change it? If so, how do I change it? So you may get that you can't change it at that moment. So being an allowance of what you can't change in a particular moment also sets you free. And then also recognizing when you can change something will also set you free as well. So sometimes you can see it as the beauty it is without changing anything. So even when someone's a total asshole to you and you're in a total interesting point of view and you know you're not going to change it, then you could actually see the beauty for what it actually is. Or if you're going through a divorce and you're going through a really rough time, if you really stay in the question of it, you could actually see the beauty for what that present situation currently is creating for you in your life. It may not always feel comfortable, but you will be able to see the beauty in it. Just like, my late wife committing suicide, right? I was able to see the beauty in it as well. That's aesthetics. Okay? Elegance is the willingness to use the least amount of energy to create the maximum effect in life. It's how you change others by the amount of energy that you use. All right? Decadence is the willingness to receive everything and hold on to nothing. It is the ability to waste. If you're willing to waste anything or anyone, no one or nothing will own you. Hedonism is the willingness to experience the orgasmic quality of the joy and the fun of living. It is constant pleasure seeking. Every moment of every day. It is the willingness to make your life a pleasure instead of a pain. So it's like if you're someone who works at the computer all day long, is your seat comfortable? Is the height of your desk comfortable? Is the way your computer screen's set up, is it too high or is it too low? And I know that seems very boring, but those are the little things that actually contribute to our bodies. If you're not comfortable and you have a job where you're at the computer all day, you better make it comfortable or else your body's gonna hurt. You see what I'm saying? It's even toilet paper. It's like, I cannot wipe my butt with cheap toilet paper. I refuse to. And I know that's disgusting, but it's like, who bought this cheap toilet paper, right? Because it doesn't contribute to my body. It actually hurts my body. Okay? I know that sounds silly and disgusting, but it's like, seriously, but it's like everyone's trying to save money, right? But it's like, oh, I got all this toilet paper for, $4.99 or €4.99 or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but your ass is bleeding because it's like sandpaper. That's not a contribution. Okay, so when you are willing to live your life from a hedonistic pleasure place, your life begins to work in ways it never has before. Because you are living for the joy of it, not for what you have to accomplish, not what you have to do, or for the purpose of it. People have defined hedonism and decadence as bad things instead of recognizing that if you use them correctly, you'll actually get somewhere. And he says, indulge in it, but be refined in it. right? You don't want to be sloppy. You want to have class. You want to have elegance, right? And again, it's not, go back to what I said in the beginning of this call. It's not for the sake of having it. It's recognizing what elegance, aesthetics, decadence, and hedonism actually contributes to your very being and your body. Do you get that? I mean, it's like, and I didn't get that before 5 days ago. I didn't get that. I was like, yeah, I like to have nice clothes. Of course, I want to look nice and all that. But then I'm like, the more sensitive I started to becoming with energy, the more aware I started to becoming with other people's thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and emotions. Because sometimes that can get really heavy, right? You all went through Christmas, right? Things weren't so light around the holidays, right? It seems like as we use these tools and access, we get really, really aware. And sometimes things can feel really heavy. And no matter what we do to try to snap out of it, it's like, fuck, I can't, the tools aren't working. But it's like, but if you are having everything around you contributing to you in a nurturing way, and you're willing to actually receive that, how much more could you actually embrace your awareness? And how much more allowance could you have for all those stupid people around you? And so that's what I have to say today. And it's like, and that's what these tools create for you and your body, because you begin to receive from everything around you. And Gary even says in the foundation manual, even the dog shit in the ground, even the pee in the snow can be a contribution to your life and to your body if you allow it without a point of view. See, we have these points of view about wealth. We have points of view about receiving. Some people have a point of view that if their life is like this, and if they could at least get it to be this magnificent, then that's enough, right? Then I should be content with just this. Well, what if that's also a lie? Even if this life is so much greater than most of the people on the planet, what if that's also a lie? What if what was actually available to you was limitless, boundless, infinite? What if the supply doesn't run out? And that is actually what's available. And that's something that became available to me at the last Maestro class. And I was like, oh my God, is that what's available? And there's no words for it. It's like an energy. And every single one of you on this call, every single person in the planet, not necessarily for the people who aren't interested in choosing it, but every single one of you also have that available. And you know what that is? That's your being. It's the potency of who you be. That's what's available for you, recognizing everything about you without a point of view and in total allowance, and utilizing your gifts, your capacities, your potencies to be a contribution to the world, but not only just to the world, but allowing the world to be a contribution back to you. And that's where the gifting and receiving simultaneously comes into play. Now, for me, when I first started Access, I wasn't there. But when I received these body processes and the bars, it was like sometimes I literally would feel entities leaving my body for me to receive. Or sometimes in certain classes, I would be looking like it seemed like all my limitations would become like they would get right in front of my face, right? It was like they were hiding back here. But sometimes with these processes, it's like, oh my God, I'm terrible. Oh my God, I'm so limited. And da, da, da. But that's not the time to judge you. That's actually the opportunity to finally look at it so you can change it. And then with the tools, you're able to change it. And then boom, what do we have? We have total space and we have more choice. Because most of us don't have the point of view that we have choice. Most of us have this point of view that we're stuck, right? And our problems are so real and true, and only thing we have available to us is this, no matter which way we look. And that's a lie too. So yeah, so that's what I have to say about about elegance and your body. And it's really about receiving from everything in your life. When you buy clothes, when you buy a car, when you eat food, ask your body, will it contribute to you if I buy you? Will you contribute to me if I wear you? Will you make me more money? Will you make me feel sexier? Right? It may look good on the rack, but when you put it on, it doesn't create this like patow feeling, right? And if it doesn't create a patow, don't wear it. Okay, so how's everybody doing? Let me give you some clearance. What contextual reality are you using to create the unbelief of the elegance, aesthetics, decadence, and liveliness you are choosing and refusing? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I'll read that again. What contextual reality are you using to create the unbelief of the elegance, the aesthetics, decadence, and liveliness you are choosing and refusing? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And I have a good money one here too. What stupidity are you using to defend totally against the elegant solution for altering the chemical composition of your reality are you choosing? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. With these tools, we can change the chemical composition of anything. With these tools, we can change the molecular structure of anything by being in the question and the willingness to receive. That's what Access is really all about. It's about generating and creating and instituting the life that you would like to have, but also learning how to receive an abundance and infinite supply of orgasmic living, period.
Hey,
Period.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Bianca and Marissa are asking if you can repeat the last clearing, please.
Yeah. What stupidity are you using to defend totally against the elegant solution for altering the chemical composition of your reality are you choosing? Everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I'm looking at myself in my phone and it looks like I have brown eyeshadow on. I don't think I'd be a pretty woman. Anyway.
So Anthony, we have somebody in the chat who has their hand up.
Yeah.
So Rita, do you still have a question for Anthony? If you want to unmute yourself. I don't know if I can unmute you. Maybe it was for, oh yes.
She got it. I heard it. Heard
Yeah,
somebody.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You with us because I'm in India and it's quite late night here in India. Can you share the recording with us after you finish the
Yeah,
talk?
recordings will be sent out.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, everyone. So does anybody have any questions? I'll answer a couple of questions. If not, I hope to see you at one of the body classes. If not,
I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you so much for this conversation, Anthony. I didn't realize, well, I didn't have any expectation of this call, but, you know, it's really blown my mind. It's been really awesome. And actually, just looking at the body processes that you receive in, well, there's the ABC class and also the 3-day body classes. They're very, Gary doesn't go into detail about what they do or what they are supposed to do, right? Sometimes there's not even anything with these body processes. And I can see where you've been.
Perfect, because it's.
Yeah, where you've been talking about, you know, the elegance, which is the least amount of effort for the maximum effect. Yeah. And, you know, for me, elegance is where you really don't have to try, you just be, right?
Yeah.
And I can see how elegant the body processes are actually. There's an elegance about it.
Thank you. That's perfect. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And again, so many of us have the point of view. And I was just talking to Gary about that very thing just a few days ago when I was working on him. And he goes, it's hard to believe that you can have that much potency by just waving your arms in the air and creating all this change in my body. He's like, you never would have thought. He's like, we all have the point of view that you have to work really, 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 really hard to create change. And there is an elegance in ESB. There is an elegance in the body processes. There is an elegance in the bars because they're not difficult to do, right? And it's amazing. And they just create. The processes speak for themselves. And that's what I love about it.
Melinda is saying, or is asking, choosing elegance instead of joy.
Why is it either or? So everywhere you're functioning from an either or universe, will you destroy or create that? Right, wrong, good and bad, Panapak, all nine shorts, boys and girls, hand in hand. If you're functioning from elegance, you're functioning from joy. It's just my point of view. All right.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. You'll listen to this recording again because there's, I hope it doesn't take 7 years for all of you to get have this awareness, but it's like sometimes it takes that long to create that space so you could finally receive that download. But, every day I thank Access for the tools and Gary and Dane for what they've created because of everything that keeps exponentializing in my life personally. It just keeps getting better and better and better and better. So,
and we have your body class coming up in Rome, as I said, and that's actually a few weeks before Gary's ABC class, which is awesome. So, how does it get any better than that? We get two of you gorgeous men, facilitating us body classes, in the same month. But, just for everybody's awareness that I know that there is a prerequisite now of a body class to attend the ABC, which you have to have taken in within 6 months. So I think that's new.
5 months, actually.
Is it 5 months? Wow. Okay. Yeah. And that's pretty new, right? So if you are interested and you want to go to the ABC class and you need a body class, Anthony's the man.
All right. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming and playing. It was great receiving all your beautiful energies on the call, and hope to see you around the world soon, okay?
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.